Have you ever wondered why some people with modest incomes can quietly build wealth, while others with higher salaries always seem broke? What if I told you that a simple cultural secret from China could help you save more money than you ever thought possible? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll learn a savings system that's been practiced for generations, one that you can apply starting today to completely transform your finances. Welcome back to the channel, where we break down money habits, wealth strategies, and financial truths that schools never bother to teach you. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of why China saves so much money, and more importantly, how you can copy these habits to grow your own savings at lightning speed. Now here's the shocking fact. As of December 2021, China's gross savings rate was 45.9%. In the US, barely 3.5 to 5%. That means the average Chinese household saves almost 10 times as much of their income as the average American. How is that even possible? And how can you use this mindset to supercharge your own wealth? Let's find out. In China, saving isn't just about having a bigger bank balance. It's part of the culture, woven into daily life from childhood. Think about this. Children are given lucky money in red envelopes during holidays, and instead of being told to spend it right away, they're encouraged to save it. That's how early the lesson begins. Money is viewed as both success and security. It's not simply what you use to buy things, it's what protects your family, proves your stability, and shows you're responsible. That's a very different story than the spend now, worry later mindset many people live by in the West. Even common greetings reflect this mindset. On Chinese New Year, people say Gong Xi Fa Cai, which literally means hope you get rich. Imagine if every time you greeted someone, the words were essentially a wish for prosperity. How would that change the way you think about money? This cultural respect for savings leads to powerful behaviors. There's a strong aversion to financing purchases, a preference for paying cash, and a mindset that saving is not optional. It's a responsibility. And when saving feels like a duty, not just a suggestion, it sticks. But culture is only part of the story. Policy played a massive role too. For decades, China enforced the one-child policy. And while that's been phased out, its financial impact still lingers. With fewer children in each family, parents could focus resources on that one child. More money per child meant more opportunities to save. But here's the twist. Because of the policy, gender ratios became skewed, and suddenly there was intense competition among men in the marriage market. Financial success became one of the strongest signals of desirability. If you weren't stable, if you didn't have savings, your chances at marriage dropped. Think about what that does to behavior. It turns saving money into a survival tactic, a social advantage. It wasn't just about being smart with cash, it was about securing your family's future. That pressure created one of the highest savings cultures in the world. Here's another layer. China does have pensions and social programs, but most people don't trust them to cover their needs decades from now. Imagine working your whole life and not being sure if your retirement check would actually show up. Without confidence in pensions or healthcare coverage, households save aggressively to self-insure. They know that if an emergency strikes, it's on them, not the government, to pay for it. That creates a natural drive toward frugality, savings, and building a safety cushion. Contrast that with the US, where people often assume Social Security or employer retirement accounts will cover them. That sense of security leads to lower saving rates. But what if you started thinking like there was no safety net? How much harder would you work to build your own? All of this culture and policy matters, but here's the secret sauce you can actually use. The Chinese saving habit lines up almost perfectly with a system called zero-based budgeting. This isn't about tracking every receipt or penny in a notebook. It's about making sure every single dollar of your income has a purpose. At the end of the month, income minus expenses equals zero. And here's the key. Expenses include savings, debt repayment, investments, and bills. Nothing floats. Nothing gets wasted. Let's make it real. Say you bring home $4,000 in a month. You start by covering rent, utilities, groceries. Then you assign money to savings, to retirement accounts, to debt repayment, maybe even a future vacation. Then, and only then, do you assign money for fun. By the end of the process, every dollar is spoken for. When every dollar has a job, you suddenly stop wondering where your money went. You know. And when you know, you can make it work for you. Here's the open loop. What do Chinese households do differently day to day that makes this budget work so well? We'll get to that next. First, many people avoid luxury spending as a status signal. While in the West, buying flashy cars or designer clothes might feel like success, in China it's often seen as unnecessary or even wasteful. Humility saves money. Second, there's the 10-to-1 rule. For every $10 earned, live on just $1 and save the rest. That's extreme, of course, and not everyone sticks to it perfectly. But even saving half of what you make instead of 10% will change your financial life dramatically. Third, spending decisions are filtered through needs versus wants. If something improves health, productivity, or long-term value, it's a justifiable purchase. But wants get tested. For example, buying a $350 wallet might sound crazy until you realize that using it every day for 5 years breaks down to less than 20 cents a day. Value is measured over time. Fourth, and this is a big one, eating at home. Dining out is one of the biggest leaks in most people's budgets. By making meals at home and treating restaurants as rare treats, households save hundreds, even thousands each year. So let me ask you, which of these 4 habits could you start practicing today? Even adopting just one will make a difference. Let's put it into action. Step 1, create a zero-based budget and give every dollar a job. Step 2, track your spending for 3 months so you know your real numbers. Step 3, create savings buckets for emergencies, retirement, and big purchases. Then, practice the needs versus wants test before buying. Cook more meals at home. And finally, watch your mindset. Saving should give you freedom, not trap you in scarcity. As your income grows, allow yourself to enjoy some of it while still protecting your future. If you're thinking this sounds strict, remember, the average Chinese household saves nearly half their income. Even if you started with 20% or 30%, you'd be far ahead of where most people are today. So, what's the Chinese secret to saving money? It's not one single trick. It's a combination of cultural respect for saving, demographic pressures, weak safety nets, and, most importantly, the discipline of knowing exactly where every dollar goes. The good news is you don't have to live in China to apply these habits. You can start today. Build a zero-based budget, live modestly, prioritize needs over wants, and make intentional choices with your money. Now let me turn it over to you. Which of these habits do you think will make the biggest difference in your financial life? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if this video opened your eyes, hit that like button so more people can find it. Subscribe for more strategies to escape the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle and build lasting wealth. And when you're ready, check out my video on the pain of the first $100,000 and the secret that makes the next easy. That one will show you how to put compounding into overdrive. In the spirit of the traditional New Year wish, Gong Xi Fa Kai. May your efforts toward saving and wealth succeed.